Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Captain America: Brave New World once again, consistently failing at the worldwide box office. So we've basically been talking about this movie for quite some time, and you guys have seen all of my previous videos talking about Captain America: Brave New World. And this movie has now finally hit $400 million worldwide. It's still flopping. It's still pretty much not going to break even because it would need, what, 425, 430, something to break even, and it's literally crawling to hit numbers at the worldwide box office. If you guys want to go and check out our discussion,
that's only if you believe that it was 180 million. You know,
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah. So if you guys want to go and check out our discussion with me and Sci-Fax and Society Reviews, we talked about the movie at spoiler length, pre-recorded. If you guys want to go see that video in the channel. But as far as this movie's box office, if you even just talk about the budget they lied about, let's just use that one because Sci-Fax said it. So we'll use that one. It doesn't matter if they have that budget anyway, because they're still not going to break even and they're still not making profit, guys, because you must also consider the fact that if you add in like $100 million for marketing, okay, that means the movie's budget is $280 million. That means the movie would have to make like what, $800 million for profit? Yeah, it's not, even with the fake budget or the real one, they're screwed either way. It wasn't going to make money for them anyway. And now we're at this point where I don't know why it's still in theaters. It's clearly not tracking any good numbers. We've all seen, oh, Iron didn't see it. I don't know if Pepperoni's seen it. I know me, Sci-Fax, and Grace saw it. It's about as mid as, damn, Shang-Chi.
Extremely forgettable. Like, I don't even remember most of it. Yeah.
You know, like, I watched this movie on Valentine's Day. I took out my wife, and I went to show her a more successful
and her boyfriend.
black man.
You forgot you also went with her boyfriend.
And I went to go show her a more successful black man than myself. And, you know, we had a lot of sex in the movie theater because obviously I'd rather have sex with a girl than watch this giant pile of trash.
And there was no one in the theater to watch the movie either, so you were clear.
Yeah. Honestly, there was literally 5 people max, including myself. So like 6. There's like 6 people all together in there. Jesus. Literally on opening Thursday night, 6 people. It's not good, you know? So here we go. Let's start going over this movie's box office worldwide. It's tragic.
We went from Infinity War to this.
We went from Civil War to this. The first Iron Man will be rolling in his grave. Captain EBT, Captain Soul Train, Captain fucking Planet of the Apes, Captain didn't sit there for his kids. God damn, Anthony Mackie. What happened to you, man? Oh, wait, Disney made you star in this bullshit. Captain America: Brave New World crosses box office milestone. Oh my God, last week, because we didn't talk about this last week. The media is so unbelievably disingenuous. Last week, there was a narrative going around. I mean, it's true, but it's stupid. This movie has surpassed the box office of Black Widow. Guys, Black Widow is the only MCU movie to this day with a day-and-date streaming release. So this movie barely passed something that had an anchor on its neck, hindering it from working at the box office. Oh my God, it beat a woman that literally had her leg shot in. Congrats. That's terrible. It can barely beat Black Widow. That's bad. That's actually terrible. It's not a good thing. Oh my God, holy fucking Christ here.
They were celebrating it tying with Eternals.
Which is literally debatably considered one of the worst MCU movies ever made. And that's sad because
yet most artistic.
Kevin Feige said it's their first Oscar bait movie. Remember that one?
Don't you remember how many lives Eternals was going to save? That's what that one guy said. Can you imagine how many lives this will save? There's queer people in this film. Lives will be saved. Like, unironically stating this. These people don't see themselves as artists. They think they're saving the world We're going to save the world. And that's why we're going to make sure that these small children in Pakistan that will literally never even learn how to fully speak their own language are going to have a gay person to look forward to in a Marvel movie that they're never going to know existed.
True.
Well, they got to sit around and hope for somebody to save them from getting thrown off a building when they admit they're gay. But
allegedly in Minecraft,
or forced transition in Iran.
Yeah.
Allegedly said by Paparoni News and Sci-Fax, not me, YouTube. I'm a good guy. I actually voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. No, I didn't. I'd rather shoot myself than vote for those pieces of dog shit. Still fighting to break even for Captain America Brave New World. 2025 has had a slow start so far at the box office. Even with little competition, Captain America Brave New World has struggled to get people to the theaters to see the film. So does that confirm that no one likes this version of Captain America? Can we just please stop doing this? Can you please give people characters they will actually literally get up off their fucking ass and pay you? I don't care what any of these random retarded MCU fans tell you. I would love to see a movie about Squirrel Girl. Like, if you put the right director on it and the right writer, I'll go. No, you fucking won't. Can we give characters that we actually give a fuck about, please? Can we stop doing this experiment? It worked out in the beginning. It worked out very well. Can we stop doing it at this point? Can we stop random fucking characters no one cares about? Please give me something I care about. And then maybe I might give you my money again. But I gave them money for this movie because I wanted to support black people because I support BLM. I'm joking, everyone. I'm joking. So
you had to pay for at least 3 tickets for this one, right?
Right. I did. I did not. Who knows? I had sex that night, so I got off easy. No, wait. That's jokes don't work against me. All right.
They're just going to lean on these. See, this proves that the majority of Marvel, like old school Marvel fans, are actually terrible racists.
Yeah, why did every black person go and see this? Yeah, all these black people on Twitter, oh, you racist, you were Captain Africa. Did you go see the movie? No, I oh no, like my EBT and my welfare check didn't come in that week. I couldn't go watch it. Oh my God.
You know what's crazy? The way the culture's shifting, they're going to be like, you're a racist for not seeing this. And motherfuckers are going to turn on their camera and go, so what? It's like, whoa,
yeah.
we're in different
It doesn't mean anything
now.
anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's, right now, all the Japanese people mad about Assassin's Creed Shadows are terrible racists too. None of this shit matters.
We'll get into that later. The movie premiered in theaters on February 14th, and it marked Anthony Mackie's first solo film and his debut as Captain America after being in the MCU for over a decade. Yeah, no one ever said Falcon was their favorite Avenger, ever. That never happened. People just said they liked him. Keep in mind, context matters. Since its release, the superhero movie has had its fair share of achievements, but it's still waiting to become a definite hit. Per Deadline, this weekend, Captain America Brave New World officially crossed the $400 million mark worldwide. That's terrible. It's actually awful. In total, Captain America Brave New World grossed $400.8 million worldwide, with over $190 million from the domestic market. The domestic gross alone covered its investment.
I don't buy it.
You people are just fucking liars. Which came with a price tag of $180 million. What was the marketing budget on this movie? We don't know because they'll never admit it. But these kind of blockbusters usually carry like an $80 million to $100 million price tag anyway, just to market them. So yeah, stop lying.
I have a question about the wording on this. So it says the domestic gross alone covered its investment. Are we talking about the investment of the actual production of the movie, or all of the money spent in totality when it comes to marketing? How much time is spent on airtime when it comes to ads that we have to put out so consistently?
Yeah.
Producing things like
definitely
merch,
not covering
for some
any
reason.
of that.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It's like, and we already know they're absolutely lying because this movie got delayed 6 quadrillion times.
For sure.
So
with 2 different sets of reshoots, at least.
Yeah.
At least.
It's just interesting how it's like, oh, well, it covered its investment. It's like, yeah, what does that mean in totality for you? Because it doesn't explain.
They
how
just
much
mean that 190 million. Because I think the next line where they're saying that it's reported that they'd need 425 to break even. I think that includes the marketing, but I think that 180 is just the supposed cost of it. But come on, anything with Harrison Ford, I think it's going to be higher than that.
You would hope.
So is 190 or 180? Is that the initial price you have to think? It's like, well,
but they're confusing the wording.
How much the movie's going to cost.
Yeah.
So they're not actually going to explain and give any more information and spill the tea.
No, they're bought and paid for. That's what they are.
No. I'm wondering specifically if when it comes to like spending 190 million, that was like roughly the regimented budget for the film already before the delays and the reshoots and all of that. So you have to wonder, how much have they actually spent on this? Because obviously they're not going to tell you. And then what would they actually need to truly break even? Because I think it's going to be more than 425 because they spent $300 million on advertising on this stuff.
However, Captain America 4 is still fighting for profit. You know, it's really crazy how they won't, emphasize more on that. Guys, profit is what these guys want. No one wants break even. Anyone on Twitter, anywhere who says that movies are fine breaking even, you are literally retarded. You are actually stupid. You're just dumb.
Yeah, no one's investing this kind of money, and then 2 years later, they're like, "Hey, by the way, here's the exact amount of money you gave us back." Like,
yeah, no one wants to do that. The movie might have had a 100. Love it. The movie might have had. Okay, all right. So I guess we're now admitting it's not $180 million, but whatever. The movie might have had a $180 million price tag, but it's been reported it would need around $425 million to break even and more to make a profit. Aside from its initial investment, the marketing and distribution costs are usually twice its budget. The top 5 markets for the film were the UK and Mexico and China, France and Korea. None of that really matters anyway, but whatever. Even so, Captain America is the highest grossing film of 2025 in the US. The only film that has done better is the Chinese animated sequel, Ni Za 2. Why does that even matter? Well, I just don't get what this is all. That's just fluff. That doesn't mean anything. Which has grossed over $2 billion worldwide, threatening James Cameron's upcoming Avatar 3. The animated film crossed almost $50 million worldwide outside of China compared to 2024. Aside from the Chinese hit, the year it is still relatively low. Dune Part 2 kicked off the year in March last year, ending its run with $714.7 million worldwide, the 7th film of the year. Yeah, well, Dune movies, I guess, do very well at the box office, but what the fuck got to do with this? All that's just, whatever.
They're just showing it's another March movie, although this one was technically February. So I believe it came out on Valentine's
They're going to do anything they can to get it closer to an early summer movie because those movies sell just worse, so they're going to try and have those standards that they can compare to.
Captain America Brave New World came with a lot of pressure with the change in lead actor from Chris Evans to Steve Rogers to Mackie Sam Wilson, as well as a difficult, more politically focused theme. The movie had a big challenge. Luckily, it grossed enough to not be the lowest grossing film in the Captain America film series. Congratulations. We're 35 films deep with this.
That's probably a lie though too, because those other movies probably only cost 100 million or 50 million.
Also,
so
the inflation back when the inflation back then during phase 1 when those movies came out, way different. Those are insanely much more different numbers if you actually adjust for that. I mean, people do that.
Yeah, you can go and look at the ticket sales, and you can watch the line going down, even though they're still making more money. But
also, they act like the MCU was this via moth that it is today, and that's just not true. It wasn't this massive beast with all of this money churning into it. It was people making stories that ended up being finally a universe that told a cohesive tale. That's what it turned out to be, not this massive just monster.
You're totally right. And they say it next. It is the first Avenger, which was the first one. So, totally Poperoni beat me to that point that, this was trying to introduce people to this character, which formerly, I don't know if you guys ever saw, like, the original Captain America movie from, what was that, like the late 80s or early 90s?
Oh, I just that as a
kid. Man, yeah, I think it was 89 or 91. Yeah.
It was kind of a joke, man. It was kind of like the Punisher movie.
It was bad, but I loved it.
I was a kid, so I love the shit out of it.
Yeah, she was awesome, dude. I loved it.
But this was trying to introduce people to it. Like, same thing with Iron Man. It was kind of a joke. But, man, those movies kind of changed people's opinion. But still, they're saying it's 370 million, and that's in 2011. So I'm doing the math right now. But it's got to be close, if not better than this.
I just ran it through NerdWallet's inflation calculator, and it says
sweet. That's what I was doing.
I love this guy. Let's say in 2011 to 2025, here we see it says you bought something and I put $370 million.
Okay.
Due to inflation, that same item in the current day, so we're talking about the same profit margins or the same value, $524,854,916.22. So
There you
that's
go.
what we're talking about. And even then, it caps off higher than this, but they don't want to talk about that because these people don't understand that we need to enforce value as the thing that makes sure that we're making profit.
Yeah, but forget profit. All studios do is invest hundreds of millions of dollars to break even. That's what you need to tell your shareholders. Hey, I squandered $500 million, but I broke even. So what'd you get? Nothing. Good. No, guys, you guys are morons on Twitter, they swear. The fourth installment comes above the first entry, 2011's Captain America: The First Avenger, with $370.5 million. However, it is far away from the next two, as 2014's Captain America: Winter Soldier grossed $714.4 million, and 2016's Captain America: Civil War grossed $1.15 billion. The movie received...
And let me just cut in really quick. So the budget for First Avenger was $140 million. So
Yes,
it was even less than the budget on this as
Wow.
well.
Yep. Joe Johnson, he delivered a banger, honestly. Those first phase of directors, well, one would say they carry Kevin Feige, but different discussion for another day. The movie received the lowest cinema score rating in the MCU, was critically panned despite a thrilling audience score with a score of 48% versus 79%, and it's predicted to finish its run among the lowest earning films. This is why, even though people rag on review websites, average people need to understand this. It doesn't matter what critics think or the audience thinks, because you can make arguments that both of them are stupid. Guys, literally the audience on Rotten Tomatoes thinks that first Venom movie that came out back in 2018 is a good movie. Come on, what are we doing here? That movie sucks ass. But
Normies are
again,
retarded, though.
yeah, like, and critics, can be like snobby-ish and pretentious, kind of like Grey Poupée, but we love them for who they are, right? No. Between $405 million and $440 million, with anything past $425 million is a win. No, it's not. If it makes past break even, that's an L. No matter how these guys try to spin that. The superhero
Look,
film
it's actually worse than that. It's actually worse than that too, because places like China, you're only getting 25% of whatever you get from there.
true.
And like
Yeah.
Disney has a thing where it's like the first couple weeks they'll get maybe 60 to 70%, and then it drops down to 50% a couple weeks later. And all these other places you're not getting even 50% from. So
Yeah,
it's probably
these
even
guys
worse.
don't factor in what you just said, which is okay. Let's say hypothetically, which we know it's not. Let's say it makes break even. Let's say it makes 425. Guys, they don't get all of that. You can't just put your shit in someone else's shit for free. You do know that, right? I think the number they ran for America, our theaters take 47%. So whatever 40% out of fucking 425 is what they would get. Guys, that's bad. This is a complete colossal failure. The superhero film would sit between Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings, and Thor. Captain America: Brave New World is playing in theaters. So let's see where it's at comparatively domestically. Let's go box office. Will be it's Box Office Mojo, right? Box Office Mojo has the breakdown. Let me see really quickly. I'm gonna see what's been updated on this. Yep, that's terrible. This is bad. This is actually terrible. Does it show how much it how much it actually grosses throughout the week? Because they usually show that sometimes too, like how much money it takes in each day.
There's a weekly tab if you go down just a little bit, right
right
at the top.
Oh, you're right. Go back.
Luckily, after a failure like this, Marvel has Ironheart to secure their back.
Can't believe we're gonna watch Ironheart, guys. I can't believe it. So yeah, Snow White.
So just at the top.
You're right here.
You can switch it to weekly. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Thank you. That's why you're here, because you're a black man. All right, let's go. Captain America: Brave New World. Oh, it made this is pathetic. This is so bad. As you guys can see, completely falling off a cliff in some cases. Other places it grows a little bit more. Okay, now I see what's going on here. Let's go back just 1 second. So yeah, internationally, it looks like they cared about this movie more than we did. That's a little bit more, but this is nothing. This is pretty terrible. I mean, this goes to show you right here. If you ever see another Captain America movie with Sam Wilson, it might even make less money than that. That's saying something. So go around the hatch before we get to my queen, Rachel Zegler, my baby, my boo. Can't wait to roast her to death. Sorry, lady. I love Mexicans, but you're a crazy retard. Iron, what are you thinking about Captain EBT failing at the box office worldwide?
That's the neat thing. I don't think about it at all. And I think a lot of people are with me in that statement. the movie it didn't garner any genuine interest. It was never going to. And if they're going to do a course correction, now's the time. I don't see that happening. A lot of people are talking about that possibly being the case with Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts, but no, Daredevil was supposed to be like the chosen one, and it was just kind of a stinker as well, like mid at best.
Been a dud.
So
Yeah.
this is the death rattle. We're all just here to bear witness.
It's the MCU's world, and we're just living in it. I guess that was a saying back in the day. Sci-Fax, what about you?
Yeah, I've pretty much already memory hold this movie. Like that shit's gone. Like I'm never gonna watch it again. It's never gonna come back up. Shit, dude. A friend of mine just rewatched all the MCU movies up till Endgame because like his mom never saw them, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not watching anything that came out after Endgame." Like he just sat there for the last couple of weeks, every couple nights, just watching a movie or two with his mom, and he was like, "Yeah, we're done after this. That no other ones exist," basically to him. And he's like what you probably consider a normie or whatever, and they don't even, people that watch this kind of regularly don't even want to watch it. So, kind of ended up where I thought it would, failing. And by this time next year, when we get the actual budget, because it always happens about a year later, the real budget comes out and it's always way worse. It's always so much worse.
Can't wait for this thing to be on Disney Plus, where everyone's gonna watch it and go, "Damn, I dodged a bullet there." Gray, we know this is your favorite movie of the year, your most highly anticipated movie. You were looking forward to seeing this. How you feeling about your movie completely failing, like my dad did in my life when he left for Skittles and milk and cigarettes?
So if I can white knight this, yeah, I don't know, man. It's really tough to white knight Captain America for. It sucks. It's kind of a nothing movie. It feels like they had like 3 different movies that they mashed into one, but didn't go hard into any which direction. However, this still might be a plus. Kind of the same thing with Daredevil. While they didn't end up with like a hit in either of these cases, it seems like they're trying to adjust it, and it's not just the same kind of stupid formula where they realize that anything that they put out there is going to be $1 billion. So all of these were in production before they supposedly changed direction, but this shows me that they're willing to change something. I don't know if it's too little too late, but hopefully some of their future things will actually be all right, but we'll see. I've got way more hope for James Gunn and his DCU than any of this stuff. So I don't know, man. Hopefully the next stuff will be good. Well, not Ironheart. I'm pretty sure that's the same show it was like 5 years ago when they made it. But, the next actual movie, those new Avengers ones, maybe they'll interest me. Fantastic Four looks pretty interesting to me. But got to be honest, just this doesn't seem to live up to any of those 3 previous Cap movies. So I cannot white knight it, hard as I try.
No. Well, the difference is those Captain America movies had Captain America in them.
That's the fun. That's the thing, Paparoni, what are you thinking? Did you go support my dad in the theaters, actually?
No, you would have to like strap me down and use this film as a CIA torture technique to actually get me to try and consume it as media. Realistically, I think it's just the most interesting thing how the conversation has shifted around Marvel, because it used to be something that moved culture, and now culture is moving Marvel the fuck out of the zeitgeist of the current media landscape, and I absolutely adore it because the people in Hollywood that are part of it, they're scattering and they don't know what's going on. And I think you look at things that actually are shifting culture when it comes to the superhero genre, something like Invincible that just absolutely decimates. Amazon Prime is pulling in extreme amounts of subscriptions from it. We see that it is just consistently popping up all over every single social media feed ever. It's ingraining itself into meme culture, which Marvel has completely failed to do over the past couple of years, as we've seen endless failure after endless failure. People love to say, "Oh, well, it's superhero fatigue," you see. And then something like Marvel Rivals drops, which is a hero shooter built in the Marvel universe, which is comic accurate based on the fact of the aesthetics of the game. And then what do you have? Comic shops in local towns selling out of comics because people are actually having a desire to go look at comics again, because it's not about superhero fatigue. It's about shitty product fatigue. And that's exactly what the MCU has.
Yep. And as you guys know, for me, I watched this movie with my wife and showed her a more successful black man than myself. And
Don't forget her boyfriend.
I was there.
it's true. Her boyfriend was there. pounding her out, you know, and I was watching because I'd rather watch that than watch this. But I watched it and I was like, you know what? I didn't hate it when I left the theater, but I sure don't remember it that well. You know, I'm sitting here going like, well, it existed. I watched it, and now I'm kind of moving on. You know, I don't know if it's good or bad. Honestly, I really don't know. Like what Gray said earlier, it's kind of like so it's a Captain America movie without Captain America, and then it uses a plot from one of the Avengers in a Captain America movie. So it's essentially like a Hulk movie.
Don't forget, they also put
Without
Ant-Man's
Captain
helmet on him. You know, the Iron Man's armor. Let's go Falcon's wings. You know, there's a few different
So
things.
not only was it not a Captain America movie, it also wasn't a Sam Wilson movie it was just a Hulk movie.
A Falcon movie would have sold better than this, by the way.
Probably,
Also, I'm going to
absolutely.
harken this back to Syndrome because he's just got everyone's superhero powers and everyone's gear.
Hey,
When
no,
everyone's super, no one is.
Mm-hmm.
Quite simple.
it's true.
That's why
And
the MCU fucking sucks now.
that's why I'm a black guy who's rich, tall, handsome, and good looking, who can slay all the chicks. And Cyfax agrees. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Peace.